Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Dr. Jennifer Shell. She's a chiropractor who specializes in clinical nutrition. She has empowered thousands of families with natural solutions to common health concerns and also taught women how they can generate income from homes. Welcome to the show, Dr. Jennifer.
Oh my gosh, thanks so much for having me, AJ. I'm honored.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India, Dr. Jennifer, in this
Yay.
online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to discuss right now. We'll talk about transforming health naturally. So,
Yeah,
in this backdrop, we'll have our discussion, conversation. But before that, Dr. Jennifer, if you can tell us a bit about your background, your journey, so that the audience knows who they are listening to.
sure. So I knew in college that I definitely wanted to do something with healthcare, but I knew that I didn't want to go the traditional medical route, like especially in the US, it's kind of a broken system in my opinion. And so I just started exploring and looking, and I found chiropractic, which is just a natural way of just helping the body give it give it the tools so that it can heal itself. We just believe that innately your body wants to heal, right? So we just kind of give it the little missing pieces to get it the rest of the way. So, anyways, so I've been a chiropractor for 23 years. I definitely love talking about supplements, nutrition, plant based oils, diet changes, because truly to be a healthy, you have to have all the pieces together. You can't just have one without the other, you got to be a whole unit. Yeah.
Right, right. So, in terms of, you see, you talk about nutrition, you talk about essential oils. So, how does one get started with this? Because
Yeah.
it is not everything that you get into the market, Dr. Jennifer. Everything says it is nutritious, it is
Yes.
healthy, and you got to read that fine print, which is difficult to read with even a good spectacle or a
Yeah.
this sort of a thing. So how
No,
do
you're right.
you then actually find what is good for you
Yes.
and go and then get started with this whole thing? What is it that you advise to the people who come to you?
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing is just like you're saying, like it's a wild place. And literally, you can find, yes, you need vitamin C. No, you shouldn't take vitamin C. It's toxic. I just read something about vitamin D. So you're correct. Like, you really need like a trusted source. So, like, especially even places like TikTok, like my kids will come to me and say, Mom, on TikTok, I heard. And I'm like, what is that source? Who is this person? What is their background? How much knowledge do they have? So you do really need to be discerning. But also, okay, so like essential oils, going to that, there's so many on the market. This is like a huge multi billion dollar industry. And for, gosh, like 20 years, I just thought they were all the same. And I was very naive about it, which I'm embarrassed to say. So during the pandemic, I did this deep dive, hours on searching, and I found that over 85% of essential oils on the market are contaminated. So that's a huge issue. So the other thing with this is there's different grades. Like, perfume grade is not the same as a therapeutic grade. So we want therapeutic grade because if it's going on your skin, or even if you're inhaling it, if there's contaminants, that's neurotoxic. So neurotoxic, that affects our brain. So one of the things that I love, and specifically the brand that I stand by, but you guys look, do your research. But I love doTERRA. It's DOTERRA. So doTERRA, if you go to a website called Source to You, like source, SOURCETOYOU.com, you can literally, let me see if I can show you. You can put the batch number. There's a batch number. So you enter it and it'll pull up the full 54 different tests for purity. So then you actually know, I've got them sitting all over, what you're getting purity wise. So that's big deal. So to get started, I think I gave you a link, but I can always go find it and add a link. But you can definitely contact me. Like if you're curious about purity, sourcing, what you can use different oils for, like I'm I'm
Right.
yeah,
Right, Dr. Jennifer. So we'll use that. We got the link. We'll use it in the YouTube description and show notes so that people can,
yeah,
get more information about this. You talk about clinical nutrition. When
yeah,
the name nutrition is there, till it is fine. You feel that nothing else is there in between. When you
yeah.
add clinical to it, then you need to be sure of everything that you hear. So tell us about this. You talk about clinical nutrition. What should I know? What is important for me? The do's and don'ts about clinical nutrition.
Sure. So it's kind of a term that we use because when I'm looking, I'm not just working with your diet. And also, let me just say this legally, I'm not treating disease, I'm not curing anything. But what I'm doing is helping your body come into homeostasis. So everything is about balance. So, say the energy to your liver reflexes off. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your liver. What I'm saying is we need to open it up, help your detox pathways. Or maybe you've got tons of stress and that stress is affecting your life. Well, if you don't handle the stress, nothing I do with supplements is going to help till you start that. And it's the same thing with your diet. If your diet is crappy, it doesn't matter what I tell you to do or recommend. Nothing's going to come together unless we put the whole thing together. Does that make a sense?
Yes, yes, Dr. Jennifer. Now, in terms of, you see, when you talk about all these things, now natural solutions, and when you talk about common health concerns within the family, what are those things that can be taken care of with natural solutions, and what are these natural solutions? Is anything natural at all with so much of use of pesticides and everything?
Oh my gosh, that's a you know what? That's a huge thing, HA. And I'll try and pull it all together, but let me just go on a small tangent about everything we are exposed to. We have to take control of our family's health because the sad part of it is, especially, like, in the States, I don't know the regulation in India, but, like, the processed foods and the amount of artificial food dyes and chemicals, I mean, it's really disturbing. So what I teach people is eat don't eat the processed food. We need vegetables, we need fruits, we need whole foods, right? So when we talk about that, you are correct because a lot of supplements, a lot of essential oils, they are full of contaminants. And that's why it's so important that you can get verified testing. So again, source2.com, it's specific to doTERRA's oils. And that's what I work with for oils because I can run the batch to get the purity. So when I have patients coming in using other brands, I'm like, that's fine, but you need to show me the testing for the purity, because if you're putting that on your babies and that's full of toxicity, we're hurting ourselves, not helping. So the same thing with the supplements, you really have to make sure it's a very reputable brand. So in our clinic, we only sell supplements that you have to have a license to distribute, because it's just going to the drugstore. The quality is not there. Did I cover everything? Did I get
Yes, yes.
everything?
As an individual, uh, how do I make sure that the quality is natural, that the quality is what it is? Because are these all approved by any particular authority? How
Right.
can I test it on my own? Because a lot of these things are come up. A lot of people are doing great work, but for an individual, it can become, a bit overwhelming to check everything before they go for it.
It is. So the sad part of it is it is overwhelming. And when you do try to go at this on your own, it's going to take that much more diligence to make sure what you're getting is clean. Where if you find someone that's a trusted healer or a health practitioner or someone that you can trust, that you know it has already done the research, that's the way I would really recommend going at it, just because nowadays, unfortunately, there just is so much false information, misinformation, but you can find, even just on YouTube, if you find some really good practitioners to follow, vet them. Make sure what's their education, what's their background, and how long have they been doing this. Don't just follow person to say who's spewing all this information as an authority figure, when really we don't know even if they have their own supplement company or oils. It's the same thing. If you can't show me the data, then we need to be a little bit suspicious or extra cautious.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about your company. You are the founder of Food to the Rescue. What it does?
Yeah.
Do you also provide different sort of clinical sort of nutrition for people
Yeah.
so that they can? So tell us about it.
Yeah, so quite honestly, so Food to the Rescue is one of my older companies, and I wrote a book which you can get it on Amazon. It's more widely distributed through doctors' offices. Oh, I have one. Yay. So it's called Food Food to the Rescue. 5 Easy Steps to a Healthy Family. So I wrote this a while ago, after I had my first son, and he was in daycare. And I noticed they were feeding the children canned, like, spaghettios, if you guys have heard of those, canned vegetables, frozen waffles. And I thought, this is what we're feeding our children. So I pulled them out of daycare, and I really started this mission where I'm like, we have to, like, change how we feed our children. So that book is just like a very basic foundational step. So, anyways, that was Food to the Rescue. Now I'm also doing something called Oils to the Rescue, where I help mainly women. I like helping moms, but doesn't matter. But the biggest thing is they need to understand that they can be making an income from a home. So doTERRA actually has it. If you just search doTERRA opportunity and earnings disclosure, that just kind of safeguards me for income potential. But for me, when I started doing that during the pandemic, it was life changing. I'm like, I can earn an income from a home on my phone. I can travel. Like last year, I took 10 different trips. I just got back from Los Angeles. I was there 2 weeks doing different training because I can. Financially, I just have to have flexibility with doTERRA as a secondary income stream. So I'm like, everybody should
Right.
all be doing this. And it is open in India. So you can just reach out to me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, some of the health concerns that all these natural remedies that can take care of that you deal with, what are those health concerns that people can remember you when they think of, okay, this can be done naturally?
Oh, yeah. So when we talk about immunity, like when people get sick often and they just can't figure out why they're constantly dealing with like low immunity, there's actually a ton of stuff that we can do to boost immunity naturally. We can help decrease the inflammatory response naturally. This inflammation is what leads to like all disease, and having an issue in your gut issues contribute to disease. So really, if we go back to the foundation and really working on that root system, the immune system, the gut, so many things resolve themselves. So we can help with all sorts of things naturally just by taking the approach of not just putting a patch on a symptom, but really going to the root cause.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's much to learn and understand about these things from you, Dr. Jennifer. So, for those
Thanks.
people who would want to learn more about what you do in terms of clinical nutrition, uh, in terms of all the things that you provide, natural solutions for families, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
Yes. So obviously, go to the link. You can get my information, but on Instagram, that's really kind of the only place I'm at right now. And it's just food.to.the.rescue. And I try and post education and information, but also you can just reach through there to me. And I'm definitely here to like help and to listen. So if you have questions about how to make income from a home, definitely I have resources. But also if you're like, where do I start? Like for instance, every single week, my team, we do classes on Zoom. I have recorded if it's a bad time, but like let's get down to the root of things, right?
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for
Thanks,
joining us.
AJ.